I watched and analyzed over 20 different videos, read over 30 articles, scoured Reddit and Discord to find over 200 unique mechanics and features in the Crimson Desert. I gathered them all together and put them into this video. So if you want to know literally everything that Crimson Desert has to offer, this is the video. If any information in the video is not accurate, please let me know in the comments. First, combat. You have light attacks, heavy attacks, charged heavies. That's your baseline. But here's what makes it different straight away. Holding a trigger while pressing any button changes its output entirely. Every single button has a modified version. Pressing light and heavy input triggers a sidestep slash. Stamina gets consumed by sprinting, dodging, blocking, and heavy attacks, but not light attacks. Unarmed fighting is fully integrated into every weapon combo. You don't switch modes, you don't open a menu. Mid-sword combo, you just transition into a shoulder check, a grab, a choke slam, and back into your blade without breaking flow. The grapple system has command grabs, choke slams, suplexes, drop kicks, shoulder checks. Each one contextual depending on position and situation. And enemies also use your own grapple mechanics back against you. They grab you, they hurl you, and there is also a confirmed neckbreaker finisher like an RKO style. Then there's also the belly flop, which is learned from a defeated enemy commander. It works as an actual attack. Enemies physically react to every hit. They get knocked into other enemies, they get launched off the ledges, they get thrown into walls. You can grab enemies and use them as meat shield. Hold them in front of you to absorb incoming hits or projectiles. And you can pick up weapons from racks, battlefields, and the environment mid-fight without breaking combat. The soft stagger system is a thing most people are completely missing. There is no posture meter, no Sekiro bar filling up slowly. Instead, if you take a heavy hit mid-combo, your attack chain gets cut off. The punishment is your momentum dying. There are 3 weapon loadout slots, you can swap between them fluidly without touching a menu. Parry, dodge roll, step dodge, and block are all separate inputs. 4 different defensive options, not variation of one. Next we have weapons. There are sword and shield, one-handed swords, dual-wield short swords, great swords, claymore, battle axe, two-handed axe, great hammer, spear and polearm, bow, rapier, and bare fist with a fully developed moveset. Then there's also musket and hand cannon, which has a very long reload time and has a confirmed one-shot kill ability. Then the unusual ones: arm-mounted mini cannon, a wrist-mounted crossbow with multiple bolt types including explosive and freezing rounds, a pickaxe that is simultaneously a mining tool and a combat weapon in the same gear slot, and a soul spear that is hidden behind a ritual puzzle in the world. Boss drop weapons are their own separate category. Certain bosses drop their signature weapon mid-fight. You can pick it up during the encounter and turn it against them. Keep the weapon after the fight and you keep the boss's signature move permanently. Then there are also elemental systems. The Axiom bracelet on Cliff's wrist gives them elemental abilities through a quick radial menu accessible mid-combat. Fire, frost and shock at minimum. There are 3 playable characters. Cliff, which is your main, balanced sword, shield and spear specialist. Gets the glider very early in the game, required for the main story. Damian, rapier, pistol, musket, arm cannon. Controls fights from range and closes in for precise quick strikes. Completely different feel from Cliff. She pressures, redirects and punishes rather than absorbs. And the third one, Onka. Two-handed axe, shotgun style firearm, pickaxe, a weapon and a mining tool in the same slot, no separation. The slowest character but most powerful, pure wrestling brawler, most useful gatherer in the game. All 3 share the same world progression state, all 3 have completely different separate skill trees and gear builds. You are building 3 distinct characters in parallel, not 3 skins of the same one. Next, the progression. There is no XP bar and no numeric level. Abyss artifacts are your core progression currency. Find them through exploration, boss kills, quest completion, liberating locations, clearing poison mist areas, and hidden spots you genuinely have to discover yourself. They unlock and upgrade skills, they raise health, stamina, and spirit. Some come as sealed Abyss artifacts, which is a variant that may carry stronger bonuses. The Abyss tree is where you spend them. Branching upgrade structure, deeper investment here also extends your combo chains. Your progression literally makes your offense longer. Then the skill observation system. It is the mechanic that most people are completely sleeping on. Watch an enemy perform a move enough times during combat and you unlock the ability to learn it. But you can also absorb moves passively without formally triggering observation mode. If you see a move enough times organically during a fight, it registers in the background. Gear upgrades happen at region-specific blacksmiths and tailors using gathered materials. Crafted weapons offer unique stat bonuses that loot drops don't always match. Boss defeats unlock signature outfits, which wearing them activates that boss's signature skill. Then we have traversal and movement. You can climb any surface, building, cliffs, large enemies. Stamina drains while climbing. At least 3 to 4 mid-air jumps or dashes are confirmed, possibly a quadruple jump. Cliff's Crow's wing glide is indefinite once unlocked. You get it early. Damian has her umbrella propeller version. Both can cover massive horizontal distances from any elevation. The grappling hook is not a zipline, full physics-based rope swing momentum. You latch onto anything, structures, trees, enemies, moving objects. You swing enemies, you swing objects. You grapple onto large enemies as a gap closer and start climbing them from there. In puzzle areas, the hook suspends objects freely mid-air for manipulation. There's also parkour, wall runs, environmental momentum chains, Assassin's Creed style movement across structures. Skydiving from aerial abysses, floating islands directly back to the ground is a standard traversal method. Not a set piece, just how you come down. Jump off of the sky island, glide, land wherever you want. There's also a sword stabbing into structure. This embeds the blade physically as a step, a platform, or a lever to move objects. Then the world itself. The continent of Pywel, 74.2 square kilometers, fully seamless, no loading screens across the entire thing. There are 5 regions: Hernan, the starting area, mountains, rivers, cliffside cities. Demenis, center of the continent, regal castle territory. Delasia, dwarf civilization, described as a scientific and technological frontier of this world. Peilun, autumn atmosphere, Greyman homeland. The Crimson Desert, which is the vast desert the game is named after. And above all of it, the aerial abyss, floating sky islands, abyss fragments rain down into Pywel. Travel up through magical gates, skydive back down, full puzzle content is up there, its own ecosystem. Regions can be visited in any order, non-linear from the start. Liberating a region from a hostile faction causes visible world changes. The world literally looks and behaves differently after. Faction control of strategic points shifts dynamically in response to what you do. Underground cave systems, unmarked, full of content, ancient ruins, frozen cliffs, ruined manors, treasure maps found in crypts that lead to the locations you'd never find otherwise. Poison mist areas shroud hidden secrets. Fire clears some blockades, the grapple hook clears others. Exploring fully requires using tools. There are also hidden fast travel points which are discovered, not given. Revolving bookshelf secrets, which are hidden rooms behind rotating shelves and buildings. There is also a full day-night cycle with a persistent in-game calendar. Night changes creature behaviors, reveals hidden paths, and alters NPC routines. Then we have puzzles. Reflect sunlight off your sword blade to triangulate abyss fragment crash sites on the surface. Your weapon is a compass. Grappling hook suspends objects mid-air for free manipulation in puzzle sequences. Light reflection crystals unlock secret chambers when aimed at correctly. Rotating bridges, lever-powered gates, platforming across falling pillars. Swords stabbed into structures to move them as platforms or counterweights. Poles knocked down in battle can be raised back up mid-fight and dropped onto bosses as a stun tool. Environmental awareness mid-combat has a direct mechanical payoff. Every single boss fight has a mechanical exploit, a puzzle answer that speeds up the encounter. Brute force works, the puzzle is faster, observation is always rewarded. AI and world behavior. NPCs have daily routines, merchants haggle with each other without your input, guards patrol, villagers move independently through their day. Every individual NPC has their own disposition meter toward Cliff. Not faction-wide reputation, individual trust per person. Save a specific family from a burning building and that family changes. Ignore them and they remember that too. The dynamic faction events can fire up without player input. Skirmishes, ambushes, wildlife encounters, the world runs whether you're there or not. Enemy vision cones are visible on the minimap during stealth. Enemy difficulty scales with your progression throughout the whole game, not just early hours. Boss switch behavior between phases in ways that actually matter, not just higher damage, new moves, new patterns, mechanics that didn't exist at the start of a fight suddenly appear. Wildlife has behavior cycles as well. Night changes them, some creatures are dormant during the day, some paths only reveal themselves after dark. There is also a full stealth system. Vision cones on minimap, silent takedowns are confirmed. A camouflage mechanic goes beyond crouching. Specific camouflage gear changes how detection works differently from standard sneaking. It is used for hunting and also works in combat scenarios against human enemies. Then there are also mounts and vehicles. Horse with a confirmed drifting mechanic on turns, full taming minigame. Black bear also tameable, rideable and fights with you. Wolf and raptor as additional confirmed mount types. Then it escalates, a proper 4-limbed dragon, full flight across the map, breathes fire, limited use duration and not infinite, which is a good design. Then the war robot, dwarf built mech suit, missile lock-on to multiple simultaneous targets, machine gun, jump jets, EMP blast, a late game mech which is limited but fully in the base game. Additional vehicles, drivable wagon, hot air balloon, small rowable skiff. All mounts support fully animated mount combat, not cosmetic, real attacks from horseback, bareback and presumably dragonback. Mount armor and full die customization is also available. Horses, bear, mechs, all of them. Horse stats vary and upgrade over time as well. Base building. Starts as a tent settlement after Payloon falls. Grows into a fortified hub over the course of the game. You physically place furniture, building construct in real time in front of you. Confirmed structures are food shops, trading centers, farms, workshops, armories. You can do crop farming, which grows your own ingredients, water your plants, active maintenance, not a timer you ignore. There is an animal husbandry, you physically carry pigs to pens. That is a confirmed real gameplay action, carrying a pig to a pen. Camp cauldron cooking, stir ingredients together actively, food restores health and stamina mid-combat and provides passive stat buffs. Upgrading the camp directly unlocks new skills and raises Cliff's stats. Your base is not decorative, it is a part of your character build. The companion dispatch system is the most underrated system in the whole camp. Send Greyman NPCs on timed off-screen missions. Each companion has their own individual stats: HP, attack, defense, attack speed, move speed, crit chance. Missions require specific headcounts, usually 4 to 6 people. The mission types are build structures, recapture forts, gather timber and ore, reduce faction influence in regions you haven't physically visited. Companions can arrive at your camp at their own. They hear about it through world events and just show up. Your population grows organically as your reputation spreads across the world. Then we have social systems, factions, and the crime loop. There is a Hernandian contribution, which is a regional reputation with exact numbers. Minor theft -5, serious crimes -30. It is tracked, visible, and consequential. The crime system is specific. Stealing shows a crime theft overlay in your HUD. A bounty value appears in real time. A wanted poster goes up with Cliff's actual face on it. Guards escalate, and if you commit enough of the crime, it doesn't guards respond simultaneously. And if you get caught, wooden jail cell, that's where you go. There's also a hog tie mechanic. You knock an enemy down, hog tie them, physically carry them, deliver them for a bounty. You can be the criminal generating the bounty or the hunter collecting it. There are also bounty boards in settlements with jobs posted, and it is available continuously. Wearing the wrong faction armor doesn't just make guards hostile. The stronghold door does not open. What you're wearing determines physical access to location. Gear has social consequences, not just stats. You can also overhear NPC conversations to discover hidden quests and secret locations. Eavesdropping is a confirmed content discovery mechanic. NPCs also give personal requests, small tasks specific to them. Completing them raises individual trust levels. Higher trust unlocks unique missions and better trade options with that specific person. There's also a rumor system, which means listening for gossip in cities leads to unique gear and discoveries not available in any other way. Defeating named bosses can unlock vendors who were previously hiding. Kill a specific warlord, a merchant who wouldn't appear before is now accessible. Life skill and activities. There's fishing, rivers, lakes, dedicated gear, catches go to cooking and trading. Hunting, bow and arrow, tracking, the camouflage mechanic for closing distance on animals. Mining, resource nodes throughout the world. Onka's pickaxe is the primary tool. Logging, chopped trees for camp construction materials. Flower and insect collecting, alchemy inputs that you have to physically gather. Then we have alchemy, which you can craft potions, dyes and consumables on the fly. Adds elemental effects to weapons, feeds both combat and customization. Cooking is cauldron based, active stirring, produces specific buffs and healing items with very specific names. Economy investment, a banker in the world lets you invest in regional economies. There's also trading with dedicated trade centers with actual goods, barley, meat jerky, salt grilled fish, fruit juice, real items with real trade values. Then the social activities in settlements, and there are more of these than people realize. Horse racing, where mount stats actually determine outcome. Pit fighting, which is bare-fisted tournament combat. Arm wrestling as a tavern minigame, dice and board games, multiple confirmed, cart driving as a part of at least one side quest. None of these are filler, they all feed into the economy, the social systems, or the progression loop somewhere. Customization. Barbershop, hairstyle, full hair color palette, including unnatural colors, beard shaping, eyebrows, face tattoos, body tattoos, full character appearance control. The dye house system is more granular than any open world game I can think of right now. You can dye individual armor pieces separately, each piece has its own color slot, each material type within a piece dyes independently. The leather parts, the metal parts, the fabric parts all take separate colors. You are not just picking a red armor. Weapon dyeing, your weapons get the same treatment. Mount dyeing, horses, bears, the war robot mech, everything gets a palette. Then a little bit about boss design. Every boss is a multi-phase encounter. Cutscene triggers at health thresholds, the fight changes when it does. Health bar color tracks your phase in real time. Blue is phase 1, green is phase 2, red is phase 3. You always know where you are. Phase transitions aren't just stat spikes. Movesets change, new mechanics appear. A boss in phase 3 might be doing things that were completely absent in phase 1. You're learning 3 versions of the same enemy across one fight. Every boss also has a mechanical exploit, a puzzle solution built into the encounter design. Brute force always works, the exploit is just faster. The game is quietly rewarding players who observe over players who just swing. Defeating bosses gives you their weapon with their signature move attached. Defeating them also gives you their outfit. Wearing it applies visual effects and activates their signature skill. The boss fight is the content, the rewards reshape your character. And here's what all of this actually adds up to. This isn't a game with a lot of stuff to do. That framing undersells it. This is a game where almost every system is connected to a different system. None of it sits alone. Every layer touches another layer. Pearl Abyss built Black Desert Online, a game so mechanically dense that new players had to treat it like a second job to understand it. Crimson Desert is that same team, that same design philosophy, applied to a focused single-player game with a real story, a real structure, and a clear beginning and end. That is a genuinely interesting experiment. The studio that makes the most complex MMO on the market deciding to go focused and linear is not a small creative bet. Whether every one of these systems and mechanics is fully polished at launch, we will find out. But the ambition is documented, the mechanics are confirmed, the scope is not hype. It's a bullet-pointed list that goes on for a very long time. March 19 is when we find out if it all holds together. And when it does, we go deep. There is a lot of game here. Today we described it, next time we play it.